morning, everyone, and welcome to Real Producers Live with the host, Jordan Espeseth. I am the co-host. I get everything kicked off and get Jordan ready to go. Bring him in now. Good morning, Jordan. How you doing?
I'm good, Landman. For the first 5 seconds, you sound like an alien robot there. I'm not sure what was going on, but you cleared up.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do in my spare time is I do the robot thing. So, how's it going?
Everything is great, man. Everything's good. And how about you? How's your world?
My world's good. My world's good. Working, building the radio program and doing these shows, man, and meeting so many wonderful people. And I'm going to get a chance to do it again here in a minute.
Absolutely.
Luckiest guy in the world, because I've got all these good friends that do these shows, and they bring all these incredible people on that I get to meet. And it's networking at its best. I tell you that. I love it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's good. And I'm excited to bring on our next couple of guests. They're one of our awesome partners with Decor Directions, interior design staging company. We have Matt and Victor, and welcome, my friends.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, guys. Happy to be here.
For sure.
Awesome.
Happy to have you.
Yes. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Yes, sir.
So Matt and Victor, Decor Decorations. Tell us a little bit about that. First of all, introduce yourselves.
Decor Directions. They give me a hard time because I was the one that was messing it up, and I was always saying Decor Decorations, but it's Decor Directions. And maybe did I say it right the first time?
Yes,
yeah, you did. Good job.
I literally was stressing last night, don't say it wrong. Don't say it. I've already done that. Been there.
Oh, that's funny.
So introduce yourselves. Tell everybody watching who you are, a little bit about yourself. And then I want to just kind of find out how you guys got started doing home staging and things like that.
Sure. So I'm Matt Hilton. I'm one of the co-owners of Decor Directions. And so I've been in the real estate industry going on 15 years. And, I saw a lack of great professional stagers. And so when you see an opportunity, good entrepreneur sees those opportunities. So that's what we did almost 2 years ago. And so I'll let Victor introduce himself, and then we'll get into the rest of that.
I'm Victor Avila. I'm actually a computer science engineer. I actually work as a customs broker. And we were looking for a while for a good business to start. And as Matt was saying, we noticed that there was a need for a great staging company, right? So we decided to get on board with it. And so far, it's been such a great experience.
Okay. Tell me, let's talk a little bit about, I see that y'all been in the real estate industry for 15 years, obviously seeing the need for home decor, staging, things like that. How important is that in the selling of your home? I mean, I see a lot of times you walk in, if it's like me, you walk into a home, I don't know, Jordan, if you're like this or not, I don't have that vision. If I walk in and see four walls, I cannot see what it really should. I don't see the potential. I really don't. And it's hard for me then to go, I feel myself comfortable here. Right. And so when you walk into those homes that are staged, even if I may not want it set up the way that it's set up, I start to get some creativity in my own mind. Talk to me about that, about why that's so important in selling the home and how that's a value.
Yeah, so I'll come at it from the realtor perspective, because I've been a realtor, still have my license, but focusing more on the staging at this point. So with that being said, whenever we had the market of 2008, 2011, where it was a buyer's market, the sellers had to do something different to get their houses sold. They couldn't just put it on the market anymore and put a price on it that they wanted and it attract buyers and go under contract. So back in that time period, I saw the rise of staging companies, right? Because you're not in the minority, you're actually in the majority. majority of people can't walk into a room and visualize what it would look like with furniture if the room is vacant. So with that being said, staged homes sell for about 7.6% more and sell 50% faster than those that aren't.
Wow.
So that's one of the things that is really important about staging and partnering with great listing agents, is because the houses are going to sell faster and they're going to sell for more money, which means more money in the seller's pocket. And it gives great stats for those listing agents too. One other thing I want to point out, and then Victor can add a little bit more, is that, you know, whenever you're staging a home, it's important to make sure that it is, what do I want to say? That it is attracted, that buyers are attracted to the home, appealing. Yeah. So whenever you stage a home and then you take the professional photos, 93% of buyers go online before they even look or even walk through the door of a house. Right. So if you have those professional photos of a staged house and that's the first thing that buyers see, it's going to get them to walk through the door and experience the home. And that's what we want people to do, is to have that experience of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically, we don't just want to go and stage a house just for the sake of staging a house, right? So we want the potential buyers to see how this lifestyle they can create in that place if they happen to buy it, right? So for us, it's just not about just going and furnishing a place, right? We want to decorate the place to have this great experience when someone walks in, and that's the reaction we want from potential buyers. And we've gotten these comments back from, as Matt was saying, our great agents that we work with, that people always compliment, oh, this is great staging and everything. And most of the times we actually get so many compliments that they actually want to buy the furniture and decor, which we can totally do. So a lot of people, it's not only for staging, even for home decorating, which we do too. When someone buys a new place, even if it's an apartment, a big house, a small, medium house, people don't have the vision, right? What am I going to do with this whole big space? A lot of houses have extra rooms that sometimes really kind of oddly shaped. So we gotta just bring our vision there and say, okay, this is what you can do. This is an idea that you can have. So it's a very rewarding job, honestly. We enjoy the creativity of doing it. And we hope we can be doing this for the rest of our lives, right?
I think it's pretty amazing. I mean, when I love to look at homes and you know, whether that be online or in person, but when you're doing it online, it's so incredible how quickly I'll click out of something if one of two things are not there. If like it's staged terrible and right, it just looks like it's a mess, or if the photos are bad. Like it could probably be an actually really good home, but if those two things are missing, it's like I'll click on the first photo and within 5 seconds I'm out. I'm on the next one. It's incredible what those two things will do. I was curious for you guys. You know, you mentioned that you guys got into it because you saw a need. Was the need because you saw a shortage, or because a lack of quality, or maybe was it both in those that do staging and interior direction or interior design?
So it was a little bit of both, and that's a great question.
Yes.
It was a lack of stagers. Now, since we have created Decor Directions, we've seen a few other staging companies pop up as well. So people are seeing the need for staging companies. So with that being said, the lack of quality as well, you know, like Victor said, we want to be the exception. We don't want to be like everybody else. We don't want to stage a house just for the sake of staging it, right? We've been in houses where other companies have been in to stage and don't want to, you know, degrade anybody or talk bad about another company. So I'm not going to mention any names at all. But you walk in and the staging just doesn't have that oomph to it, you know, doesn't have that wow appeal, right? And we take each one of our houses that we stage and we customize it We make sure that we use the right type of furniture and decor to showcase each room the way it was intended and should be used.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask this question real quick, because it's
Yes.
something that Jordan hit on, and it made me remember. I mean, I've gone to look at houses before. The curb appeal was immaculate, and then you open the door, and it's just, you're left blank. It's just blank. There's just and so, how important is creating that emotion that when you walk in a door, you don't see a house, you see a home? Is that what you guys are really trying to do?
Yes, that's definitely the vision that we want people to have, to walk in and have this idea of a lifestyle, right? Because every single place, regardless of price, regardless of size, can be your own little place that you're gonna love, and just like being your own sanctuary, right? Because people like what they see. People are very, very visual, right? So, and nowadays with everything that is going on with COVID, it's more important than ever to enjoy the place where you're staying at, right? The look and your surroundings are really the way you want them to be, right? So it's about creating a potential lifestyle, a potential decoration that you're gonna be proud of when you hopefully once everything it's better than it is right now, and you start inviting guests again, right? So you're gonna be so proud and so happy knowing that people are just gonna be complimenting your place, right? So as I was saying, it's both the staging, it's both the home decorating. We want to make sure that people understand that it's for you to have, right? You can have that, and
Oh, I was just going to say, I mentioned earlier about the experience, right, of walking through the door and experiencing the home. When you go buy a car, they don't just show you the car online and say, "Hey, do you want to buy it?"
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing they want? They want your rear in the seat, right? And they want you to drive that
absolutely.
car. And that's our goal, is to get people through the door, not just to see it online, but to get them through the door and experience the home.
Well, we don't want to, I mean, what you mentioned earlier, you both mentioned this, that a lot of people can't go into a home and just imagine it, right? They can't imagine the couch there and things on the wall. So people struggle. Most people don't have that ability or that creativity to do that. And if we leave it up to them to imagine it, they're going to miss it. They're going to miss the feel. It's amazing when you do walk in, like they start to visualize themselves sitting on that couch, or like being in that part of the room, because they can feel it and they get emotionally invested in it. But there's like a total disconnect when it's just blank walls, blank room. It's really hard for most people, including myself, to just like, oh, this feels right. This feels like home. Like you need to take that element out, and so people can just like be there. I think it's huge. Like you said, what was it? How much faster do those homes typically sell that are staged? About
50% faster than those that aren't.
And about 6%
more. So here's one other thing I wanted to just say real quick, and that is, you can't put lipstick on a pig, right, and make it sell. So here's the thing, and it's really important to partner with great agents, and Real Producers has some great agents, or they wouldn't be in the top 500 producers, right? So when you have listing agents who know how to price the properties right at the market and not overprice, and use staging, that combination will get houses sold. So you can overprice a house and have incredible staging by Decor Directions, and it's not going to sell as fast as if you would have priced it right. So that combination is the key.
Right.
Do you guys find, is there just a common, is it, because everyone's got different taste, right? But is there like a common taste, I guess, that you guys try to go with that's not too modern and not too traditional? Like and I know I always laugh at you guys, because I think, Matt, you're telling me like Victor will stay there and look until like tilt the pillow until it's like absolutely perfect, and then like walk out the door, come back and like reassess. Yep. But like, so I know you guys are very, very meticulous when it comes to all that stuff, but what about the actual, like the style? How do you guys like choose that?
That is a great question, Jordan, and you're so right there. We don't want to go with very different style than people normally choose, right? So we always, or I would say 90% of the times, we stage transitional. So it's a combination of traditional with modern. So it's not too traditional, it's not too modern, right? It's just right the perfect mix between both styles. It's what I would say 90% of the people like. It's different when it's staging, to compare that to home decorating, right? If someone wants us to help with your own home, sorry, then different story. If you can tell us, hey, I want mid-century, I want eclectic, as you can see the wall behind us, or I like, for instance, myself, I like mid-century. There's lots of different styles that we can help homeowners with their staging. I'm sorry, with the decorating, right? So for home staging, we just want to make sure that it's a mass appeal. We want to go with transitional, which is what most of the model homes you see when it's brand new homes, that's what they used to. And that's what we try to aim to, right?
What, when you guys are doing, when you're decorating, so you go into someone's home and you're making those adjustments, people are pretty emotionally attached to the way they had their home set up. Do you find that, and that's the nice thing too about bringing you guys in, I know as a real estate agent, you kind of want to they almost want to make you guys the bad cop, that you guys go in and you tell them what needs to change, because that real estate agent, they want to keep the relationship as strong as possible. And I know it can be a bit of a, you know, emotional experience for them if you're like, that like chair is awful.
Needs to go.
That's gotta go. You know, and so do you guys find yourself kind of being bad cop and the agent being good cop? And then like, yeah, do you guys deal with that a lot? People just not wanting to let go of the way, you know, their home is.
So that's the importance of asking a lot of questions. We always say, what is the most important art piece or furniture piece that you cannot live without, right? So if they tell us this very traditional art piece we want to keep, well, we're going to have to work around that piece, right? And then maybe use more modern furniture so that very traditional piece just comes to life, right? So we can always work with owners, definitely, because there's some, as you said, sentimental stuff that have very much value for them. So we want to make sure that we do keep those furniture pieces, art pieces, for them to always see them, right? We want to work with what they have. Obviously, we are some out of the stuff we as you said, we might be the bad guys and say, you know what, this is not going to work. Maybe you can keep this one, but these other two pieces, they definitely have to go.
Yeah. So when you're dealing with someone who's selling, I don't know if you've noticed, but we use different words. When you're selling a house, it's a house. When you're in the home, it's a home. So when we decorate homes and we stage houses.
That makes sense. Well,
that's good.
I've got a question for you. Obviously you guys got into this, you'd been around, you'd seen the good and the bad, and it sounds like that you are really passionate about what you do. How did you learn how to do it? Is that something that's is it a natural instinct? Is it a skill that you develop? Where do you get your creativity? Because I think it's just amazing that people can just see something that's not there and create it. And I mean, I know that people do that in different industries and trade industries. People build houses and, you know, but in designing the interior, decorating that, how did you learn that? How did you develop that skill?
Well, I think it is innate. Like I said, whenever you have 80% of the population who cannot walk through a house and visualize what can go in a vacant room, it's something that is just within both of us, and we're lucky to, you know, have found each other and created this business. And we both love what we do, and we both have that ability. So, you know, there are some strengths that each of us have, and there are weaknesses that each of us have, but we each complement each other in that respect. And that's what I think is the key to success, or one of the keys to our success.
So
that's awesome.
It comes very naturally, honestly. And as far as I remember, always been good at selecting like pieces, and you can give me stuff and I can just say, oh, I'm going to work around it and I'm going to decorate your place. It comes very naturally. And obviously we also try to keep with the newest trends. We know what's new, what's the newest colors they're using. This art piece that is, I don't know, very, very famous right now. We tried, again, even though it comes naturally to us, we still do some research. We go online, we take some courses about decorating, so we know if it's someone who wants something really modern, we know what's the latest trends, right?
Yes, yes. Well, that's pretty cool. Have y'all ever decorated a radio or live stream studio before?
No, but we have we've decorated a hair salon.
Ooh.
And,
okay.
So that was an interesting project that we did just a few months ago.
Nice.
Wow. Very cool.
It was not only decorating the hair salon, so we were in charge of buying all furniture for it too. Yep. So it was a great experience. And that's the great thing about this business, right? Because the owners, they said, we have an idea, but we cannot just envision it. So can you help us? And we started asking the right questions. What is your style? What are your favorite colors? What we can use, what we cannot use. And then we put it together. We bought the great art pieces that we needed there. We used some shells, floating shells, and we came with this modern industrial look for that hair salon. And so we wanted them to wait until the very last moment to see it, because they were like, can we see it? We were like, no, you have to wait. We want the big reveal, right? So 6-7 hours later, when they finally walk in, they were just in awe. They couldn't believe how we made that space work. It was very, very practical, yet very nicely decorated. Even the owner had tears in his eyes because he was like, oh my God, I would have, you helped me envision the way I wanted it. I could have never done it by myself, right? So getting those comments, and then 2 months later, we were still getting texts from both saying our customers keep complimenting the place because it looks great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's gotta be pretty dang rewarding for you guys to have that experience. Quick question is, obviously, you guys work with real estate agents. Our platform's all around real estate agents. What 1 or 2 tips or advice would you give to a real estate agent when it comes to, whether that be staging interior design general or actually picking the company that someone's working with?
Wow, that's a great question. And I want to make sure I understood what you said. So what I would suggest is, 1, let the professionals do what they do best, and then you do what you do best, right? We have there are a lot of agents out there who have decor that they have in their garage, or they use their own stuff and they go in and they try to stage, and it's just not the same. And with that being said, staging does not cost as much as everybody may think it does, and decorating a home and having us come in and consult and do that doesn't cost as much as everybody thinks it does. So we would love for anyone watching or curious to contact us, and just, if you're inquisitive and just want to know what it would cost, we'll be glad to give you an estimate.
Well, especially when it sells 6-7% higher than normal, then it's probably it probably pays to actually have you guys come in.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And one other thing I wanted to say is, as entrepreneurs, I think what I always live by is, it takes the failures to get to the successes, right? And I wish we could expound upon that a little more. I know we have to hop off of here in a few minutes, but I just want anybody that's listening to this, an entrepreneur, to know that you have to go through those failures to get to the success. I just heard recently a story about Jeff Bezos, right? With Amazon. He has had multiple failures of businesses that he has bought, but yet his successes have outweighed those in the end, but he had to go through those failures to get to his success.
Absolutely.
So, just a word of encouragement there is just because you may be feeling that you're not doing as good as what you feel you should be at this time, or COVID has set you back, or whatever that may be, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going through that, right?
Right.
And in some form or fashion. And so you need to adjust, you need to reset, you need to go back to the basics, which is what we did just this past weekend. We went back to the basics and just started calling agents. You know, we were looking up on the MLS and finding those vacant houses and those that have been on the market for 45 days or more, and said, hey, you should probably think about staging.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just get back to the basics and keep at it.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Matt. As I said before we started the show, we've got a format, but a lot of times we just kind of go with the conversation. And I was so curious about talking to you guys about this because it really does fascinate me. When I meet entrepreneurs that have just a vision that the rest of us don't have, and sometimes even the people in their own industry don't have, I want to pick their brain and just find out all I can. And I think it's just fascinating that someone has such a deep vision that they can walk into an empty room and make it feel like a home. And I think another challenge, sort of like what Victor was talking about, how hard is it? And I know we got 3 minutes left, and I want you guys to talk about how people can get in touch with you. How difficult is it, really quick, to see a vision for someone else? I think when you talked about the hair salon, to me, that blows my mind that I mean, it's easy for you to see what you love, but you guys see what other people love. And that's amazing to me.
So here's the key to that. It is asking questions, and not just asking one question, but asking deeper questions about what about that is important to you.
Yeah.
What about that is important to you? And then the second part of that is listening.
A good point.
So you've got to ask the questions, you got to dig a little deeper, and you've got to listen. And one skill that I've developed over the years is you repeat back to people what you think you heard. And when you do that, not only does it confirm what you heard, it lets them know that you're listening to them.
Good point.
Well, Matt's got that NLP experience, so he's always observing all those things that that we may put under the radar.
Well, fellas, we're running out of time. Unfortunately, I think I could talk to you guys for hours. And definitely, Jordan, we got to get them back on another show. But absolutely. But tell everybody, it's been scrolling down at the bottom. I hope nobody missed it. And so anybody watching can replay this and get it. But tell everybody how to get in touch with you. And then before you guys jump off, thank you so much for being here. Really enjoyed listening to your story.
Yeah, same here. We love being here as well, and we'd love to come back anytime you'll have us. So, you can either call or text 469-969-8819, or you can email us at
decordirectionsusa@gmail.com.
And social media, we have Instagram and Facebook, and that is Decor Directions USA, and that's the handle as well for Instagram.
Just remember, Jordan, is Decor Directions.
Yes, Decor Directions is the name. And get it right. So, hey, thank you guys again. I appreciate you guys as being partners and for coming on the show. And it's always a blast getting to see you guys and talk with you guys. And so thank you again. Thank you, Lendon, for always being a great host and putting this together. And I appreciate you guys all very much. Again, every week. I think we're taking a couple weeks off because we have a couple things going on the next couple of weeks. But typically, every Thursday at 11, we are
we'll be running replays, though.
So replays will be here anyway. So, all right. Well, hey, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you, Lendon. Thank you, my fellows from Decor Directions. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.